Hey everyone, my name is Jessie Tate. I'm joined today by my colleagues Jenna and Ana, and today we're doing something a little bit different, something we've never done before, and I'm kind of excited about it. We are giving you some multi-gen trip ideas from the Emerging Destinations portfolio. We are going to make this a series, so stick around. We'll be doing some romance and honeymoon, so we plan on doing a few of these and just featuring a few of our cool companies in cool places in some future webinars. But as I mentioned, my name is Jessie. Jenna, Ana, and myself, we all work for Emerging Destinations. We're sales and marketing managers for the cool companies in cool places that we represent. I'm going to be taking you on a little dive through our Africa product and some multi-gen trip ideas there. Jenna's going to be highlighting some multi-gen trips from our European clients. And Anna's going to be highlighting multi-gen trips from our South America clients, some of them. It's a mix and match. But before I get started and dive in, we are recording this webinar. So if you need to step out for any reason, don't worry, this is being recorded. We will send you that recording hopefully by the end of this week. We would love for you to share that with your colleagues or anyone that you know is getting some really good multi-gen trip requests. Also, we'd love for this to be interactive, so if you have a question, please type that through on the GoToWebinar control panel. We'll save some time at the end to answer some questions as best we can, just depending on time as well. The three of us will be very efficient today and just give you a little bit of a taste. But do type your questions through, we want to answer them. So we'll get to those at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, let's start in Africa. So what I've done is I have compiled some really great trip ideas from two of our clients in Africa, the Elowana Collection and Sky Safari. So I'll just be highlighting what we can do for your guests there. As you know, the Emerging Destinations portfolio ranges. We could be here for 2 hours if we were to talk about every single client in our portfolio. But what Jenna, Ana, and myself have done, have just kind of picked out the ones that we think would be best in each area. Okay, so let's dive into Elowana. So the Elowana Collection is a collection of 16 boutique properties across both Kenya and Tanzania. The only property that we don't allow children is our Kilindi Zanzibar location. That is more for a romance trip, honeymoon destination, something of those sorts. So I just want to make sure that I mention that before I forget. But I wanted to reference this map because, are you guys seeing a map? Jenna or Ana, can you jump in and just make sure that I'm sharing my map correctly?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, just making sure. Okay, so I just wanted to show this map really quickly, just to let you know of the big Africa footprint that we have. So anywhere that your guests are requesting, from the Masai Mara to the Serengeti to the infamous Ngorongoro crater, anywhere that your guests are asking for, we most likely have a property there. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taste on the big footprint that Elowana has and the locations where we are. Okay, something super important that I wanted to show you is our family safari chart. So I'll be sharing this with you after the webinar, but I'm just going to click out here and show you. The Elowana Collection has done a really great job of compiling every single children's activity at every property. So when you have those guests that are asking you tons and tons of questions, I'll send you this Family Safaris Elowana chart and you can come in here. So I'm just going to quickly reference. For example, it shows you the property in the collection, the accommodation that we have for families, so whether that's a family cottage or a completely private house. So what we have offered in terms of accommodation, then everything from children's menu, is there a swimming pool, bushwalks around camp. You do have to be 16 if you'd like to leave property and do a walking safari with one of our rangers, but several of our properties offer bushwalks around camp. Warrior bush training, this is super cool. We can have a Maasai warrior come out and do some really cool demonstrations in the bush. I even did one last time. We did some arrow shooting with one of the Maasai warriors, so some cool stuff there. Visit to a local school. So if your multi-gen family has some kids in it that's interested in seeing how, you know, other kids are living their lives, whether it's Kenya or Tanzania, we can do a visit to a local school. And then horse and pony riding too. Several of our properties have horses on site or off site. So if your multi-gen trip has, you know, anyone wanting to ride horse or pony, you can see here. And then fishing. And then several of our properties have cool stuff like mountain biking, a game room, roasting marshmallows, stuff like that. And something here at Lewa Safari Camp, I want to mention, you know, a visit to the headquarters to see the anti-poaching dogs in action. So, you know, your older guests might be interested in the conservation efforts and the tracking methods that they're doing in Lewa Conservancy. And then, you know, you can send the kids out and do the anti-poaching sniffer dog demonstration. It's really cool. They'll take a piece of clothing, hide it in the bush, and they'll show you how the dogs work. So really something for everyone is in this entire chart here. So I know it seems pretty lengthy, but when you do have a multi-gen guest approach you and you're wondering what the heck can the Awana collection offer me, I'll attach this chart so that you can see every single thing that we have to make sure that guests of all ages are entertained here. So I will make sure to attach this in our follow-up. So that's the Awana collection. And then within that umbrella, I just wanted to mention Sky Safari. So Sky Safari is a private flying safari. We have 2 planes. I'll show you in just a moment. But essentially, this is a private flying safari. Consider it like a flying cruise. Everything is included from top to bottom. So your hand is held, for lack of a better term, throughout your entire journey. Every bush pickup, every flight, every transfer, meals, liquors, wines, those kids' activities that I just mentioned to you above, everything is included from top to bottom. So if you're not booking like an FIT and doing an Awana collection circuit, Sky Safari is something really cool to consider as well. They offer 10-day 9-night or 8-day 7-night in both Kenya and Tanzania. They do stay at the Awana collection properties. Then we also have a 13-day 12-night East Africa itinerary. And if this is kind of, you know, you're jotting notes really quickly, don't worry, I'll send you all of these itineraries and details. But Sky Safari is great for a smaller multi-gen trip. The plane that you see here on the left, it holds 9 passengers max. We prefer 8, but if someone is willing to sit next to Peter, the pilot that you see here in our co-captain chair, the plane can fit 9. So this is great for a smaller family journey. And what we've done is we've taken out the 12 seats and put back in 8. So it's an executive class aircraft, leather seats. Everyone has a window, so the kids aren't fighting about who can look out the window. So a very, very comfortable way to do your safari. And I just wanted to mention really quickly for the Sky Safari rates, children in their own room, minimum of 2, maximum of 3, they pay 75% of the adult rate. And then children under 12 sharing with one adult, children under 12 are free, and that adult will pay the solo rate. So that's for the Awana collection too, children under 12 free. All right, so those are the 2 products that I just wanted to highlight from the Awana collection to Sky Safari. Perfect multi-gen trips. And then I'll just tease you with a little bit of few photos here. And again, I'll send links to all these pictures that you can share with your guests. Kifaru House in the upper left-hand corner is in Lewa Wildlife Conservancy. There are only 5 villas on this entire property, so this is a really great full buyout for a larger group for you. You can do, you know, your private dining, your private lounge. There's a nice garden on site for the kids to go walk through. So Kifaru House is a really great full buyout option. Then we have the Manor at Ngorongoro. This is our private house here. So tons of room for the kids to spread out. You can do your private dining here. There's a lounge. So it's just essentially a manor style house for those family members. And then El Skopi in the bottom left here, this is our private house. So again, dining outside, you've got your own private pool, spread the kids and the family across the entire villa. That's a really great option as well. And at Elsa's, we've kind of separated this particular private house from the main portion of the property. So it's almost like you have your own private camp out there. Lastly, Little Sand River is essentially 18 tents on the Sand River, and tents 1 through 9 we've kind of comprised into quote unquote Little Sand River. Okay, so that has its own kitchen, its own dining area. You can do your safari pickup over here, so you can book out tents 1 through 9 as Little Sand River for your multi-gen or big group. Otherwise, it's all connected and runs along the Sand River. There's tons more photos that I could show you, but I just wanted to highlight what the Elawana collection and Sky Safari could do for your multi-gen trips. There's tons of fun stuff. We have stuff for everyone of all ages. So make sure that when you have a multi-gen trip asking for Kenya or Tanzania, to consider the Elawana collection or Sky Safari. That leads us into Europe. So as I mentioned, Jenna and Ana are here. Ana is waiting patiently to mention our South America product, but Jenna is going to dive into what we can offer your multi-gen guests in Europe. So Jenna.
Thanks so much, Jessie. So today I'm going to be talking about Europe, as she just mentioned. More specifically, I'm going to be talking about Iceland Pro Cruises. So while there's other great multi-gen trips we can offer in Europe, we're going to focus on Iceland Pro Cruises today. So they're an Icelandic owned and operated company, which offers circumnavigations around Iceland, and we also have one itinerary that includes Greenland as well. So Iceland's a fantastic multi-gen family destination. There's tons of natural attractions. I mean, you can see the waterfalls in the bottom left there. You can go swimming in geothermal pools. You can meet cute animals like the puffins and the Icelandic horses, which you can also see up there on your screen. It's accessible for both elderly people and children. So this is an added bonus. There's tons of activities that will enthrall people of all ages. So it's provides a perfect blend of culture, history, and wildlife. For Iceland Pro Cruises, our policy is that children must be 8 years or older, 10 years or older on Greenland itineraries, but we do offer discounts of 25% on all cruises and shore excursions offered to children ages 12 and under who are staying in their parents' cabin. Although please note, we do not actually offer any childcare services or child play areas on board, such as a kids club, etc. So depending on the age range of the multi-gen family, this might be fine. For example, when I was on board, I think 2019 September, there was multiple different multi-gen family groups on board. So there was grandparents with their children and then teenage children, and they had a fantastic time. They were very, very fun groups. So there's a ton of great activities for multi-gen family trips that we can offer while on board. There's just a few that I'm going to cover. The first one being the seal watching on horseback, and I'm going to apologize in advance. I will not be doing any Icelandic pronunciation for you today, so you'll have to use your imagination. This is great activity for beginner horseback riders as well. So it's a very easy ride, flat terrain just along the shore, of course, looking for seals. The second activity here is a herring intoxication. This is also another great one for families. So you kind of get to go through the history and the key role of the Icelandic herring industry. You get a traditional music performance, there's a herring tasting, and of course, a visit to the Herring Museum. Next slide, please. Whale watching in Húsavík. So Húsavík is actually the whale watching capital of Iceland. So it allows you a great opportunity to get up close and personal with these gentle giants at a close range. Sorry that the picture of me on the left there turned out a little blurry.
What happened?
Sorry. I don't know. I just noticed that now. Yeah, so that's me all geared up, ready to go on my whale watching experience. And also, if you happen to be there mid-April to mid-August, which you would be if you're on board an Iceland cruise, you get to pass Lendley Island, where you can see thousands of puffins nesting. So it's also a great experience for puffin observation. And the last one that I'm going to highlight, and there's a ton more, but just for time's sake, it's a Viking thing. So on this tour, you get to learn about the traditions of the Vikings which are actually still very prevalent in the local lives of the locals today. You start with a walking tour of the Viking village, so you get to learn more about the history and culture before getting a chance to dress up like a Viking yourself. You also get to bake Viking bread over an open fire, and if you're of legal drinking age, you also can join in and have a Viking beer. So it's a very fun activity. Now, for accommodation options, so as of next year, we are going to be operating exclusively on a new ship, which is called the Sea Venture. So we can offer up to triple occupancy in a room, although we have, of course, we have rooms right next to each other. It's a much smaller vessel, so it's only 164 passengers. So there's not much opportunity to get lost. So we can definitely place family members in rooms next to one another. Unfortunately, they're not joining. And next slide, please. Lastly, I'm going to highlight our family specials. So this is valid for 2 adults and 2 children under the age of 12. All of the cabins with 2 beds, etc., which is a perfect for families. So there's some pricing information for you as well. This is valid for all of our 2022 departures. However, we will also be doing a family special for 2023 departures as well. So look forward to seeing the details on that soon. But I did just want to mention that we do have this available for families. And moving on, I'm actually going to start us off in our South American portfolio. So the first one that I will go through before I hand things off to Ana is Enchanted Expeditions. So Enchanted Expeditions has been around for 35 years. It was originally founded by Judy Carvajal. They operate as a DMC on mainland Ecuador, but in addition to that, they also own 2 16-passenger boats in the Galapagos Islands, as well as a lodge on Santa Cruz Island. Next slide, please. So I just included this photo just so you could see the area that we're talking about. Of course, hopefully many of you are familiar where the Galapagos Islands are, but if you do have any questions about the DMC services that they are offering on mainland Ecuador, please feel free to reach out to any of us and we can help you out with that. But of course, today we're just going to be focusing on the Galapagos portion. Next slide, please. And I guess I don't have my marker to show you, but right in the middle there is Santa Cruz Island. At the very bottom, you can see Puerto Ayora at the bottom of Santa Cruz. So that is near where our lodge is located. So I will bring that back up for you in a moment. But this is, as many of you know, the Galapagos is a volcanic archipelago in the Pacific Ocean off the west coast of Ecuador. So this is the area in which your clients would be visiting on a Galapagos cruise. Now, next thing is activities. So Galapagos is a fantastic family destination. You have accessibility to tons of outdoor activities. You get to get very up close and personal with the wildlife, literally prime wildlife viewing right in front of your eyes. For those who have had the privilege of going to the Galapagos, you know exactly what that means. Typically, though, we do suggest that children should be 7 and up, or definitely have the ability to follow parental directions. So the main reason for this is that some of the paths are very rocky or unstable. And of course, because it's a protected area, they also have very strict guidelines to stay on the path so as not to damage any flora and fauna. And the lizards are literally, you have to walk over them along the path. The birds nest right next to or on the path. So that's probably one of the most important things when considering how young a child should be to go to visit the Galapagos. For daily activities, though, I mean, there's tons of great things that people of all ages and mobility levels can enjoy. You have daily snorkeling. You get to go visit you can just go visit the beaches. There's an option for kayaking, or you can just, of course, simply relax on board. So for accommodation, these are the two ships that I mentioned earlier. So on the left-hand side, you will see the Beluga, and on the right-hand side, you will see the Cachalote Explorer. Now, as I said, both of these are 16 passengers each. So there's 8 cabins per boat. And on either boat, we do have options for triple. I do want to highlight though that the Cachalote even has a quad cabin. So I did put a picture of it on the bottom right there. So you can see this is a fantastic cabin option for a family of 4. Next slide, please, Jessie. And the last thing I wanted to highlight was our lodge. So on Santa Cruz, which we pointed out to you earlier, we have our Enchanted Galapagos Lodge, located 15 minutes outside of the town of Puerto Ayora. So we're kind of located in the highlands, which you can see on that bottom right-hand photo. We're very much so like in a forest, rainforesty area. So you kind of go up away from the shore, but it's a very gorgeous scenery and it feels very tropical. The lodge is equipped with 10 newly renovated standard and superior rooms. All of these are air conditioned. We have a luxurious pool area. There's a hot tub, numerous large open air lounges, one of which is perfect for yoga. There's a nice little garden walk you can do. We have a volleyball court set up. So there's really a ton you can do just within the property. And then there's also a lot that you can experience nearby the lodge. So we have bike riding, for example. There's a nearby beach, which you can go and lounge at, or is also great for kayaking. Coffee plantation just neighboring to the property where you can go have a demonstration. We have a fruit farm we can give you a tour of, show you all the different local exotic fruits. There's a canyon hike nearby, etc. So there's really no shortage of activities that you could do while staying at the lodge. I think we were there 3 nights, and I mean, we could have been there easily 4 or 5 nights, and there would have been enough to do while also having time to relax. So it really makes a great pre or post cruise option to stay a couple days at our lodge before or after your Galapagos cruise. So I think that's all I had to tell you. Thank you so much, everyone. I will pass things along to Ana for the rest of South America.
Thank you so much, Jenna. And I will be introducing you today Las Torres Reserve in Patagonia in Chile and Iwasu Grand Resort in Argentina. Both properties, as Jenna mentioned before, in South America. Remember that we are on the opposite season of US and Canada. So when it's summer in US, it's winter here. So just have this in mind for the climate and the weather conditions. The first client we have for multi-gen trips is Las Torres Reserve. It is located in Torres del Paine National Park in southern Patagonia. The Las Torres Reserve company is run by the Kusanovic family, who arrived in Chile from Croatia in 1905, and they were settled here in this area where they were living in a beautiful ranch just in the heart of the national park and at the base of the massif. It is important to mention that when the family came here, Torres del Paine wasn't a national park yet. So they first developed a private conservation area where they were living in a private ranch, and a few years later, the government declared this area a national park. This is why one of the unique selling points of Las Torres Reserve is that they offer the best location that you can find in the national park, simply because they own the land before it became a national park. They have 2 different business units. The first one is the picture that you are seeing on your screen now. It is a beautiful hotel, Hotel Las Torres Patagonia. It has a total of 72 rooms and 2 suites. They offer bed and breakfast options, but they offer an amazing all-inclusive program, which basically includes everything from transfers to meals, beverages, and excursions. Next slide, please. The hotel offers different type of activities. You can, in fact, choose from a menu of 20 half-day and full-day tours that you can enjoy while in Torres del Paine National Park. If you are booking the all-inclusive program, then all those 20 activities or tours will be included, so your clients will not need to pay an extra for anything. They have just need to decide which activity they want to do the following day. This is a great option for families because as for the activities and excursions, they can choose from sort of hikings or activities for more active people, and they can choose also for some navigations, horseback riding, van tours for either people with some sort of mobility restriction, or elder people, or families with little children. So if you are bringing a multi-gen family here, maybe you can recommend the most active or young in the family to do a hiking, while the elderly people will be enjoying the same day a great navigation or a bank tour across the Torres del Paine National Park. Next slide, please. As I was mentioning before, Hotel Las Torres Patagonia has a total of 74 rooms. We have, among those 74 rooms, we have 2 suites. We have connecting rooms, and we also have adjoining rooms. We can either offer you a room with 1 king-size bed, or a room with either 2 or 3 twin beds, as you can see on your screen now. The hotel, it is run from September to April, which is spring to summer. And as for the children policy, children under 5 years old, they are staying for free, and children between 5 and 12 years old, when booking the all-inclusive program, they will get special discounted rates. So it's definitely an amazing program for families. Just to give you an idea, we have all-inclusive programs that it starts at $1,700 per person, 3 days, 2 nights, all-inclusive. However, my recommendation is to consider maybe a 4-night stay minimum. This is also an amazing destination, an amazing trip to combine with a pre or post Antarctica cruise in case you are having families doing an Antarctica trip. Next slide, please. The second business unit that Las Torres Reserve has, in case you have people that are maybe a bit more adventurous or active, they have different mountain hostels, cabins, and camping sites along the famous W circuit in the Torres del Paine National Park. So if you have people that maybe they are accustomed to go camping on a national park, we can offer you fully equipped camping sites along the W circuit. Just to give you an idea, the traditional W circuit takes 4 days, 3 nights, and along those 4 days, you will be hiking and trekking 70 kilometers in total. Here again, in case you are opting for those more sort of adventure options, we have all-inclusive programs, including everything: the sleeping mattress, the tent, all the meals, all the equipment, so you don't have to worry about anything. And in case you have people that they are adventure, but they do not want to stay in a camping site, maybe we have the mountain hostels or the cabins, which are a bit more comfortable, and they are sort of in a middle range between the Hotel Las Torres Patagonia and the fully equipped camping sites. Next slide, please. Moving to Argentina, another great destination that we have for families are the Iwasu Falls. They are located 2-hour flights north from Buenos Aires. And here in Iwasu, we are presenting the Iwasu Grand Resort. Next slide. Which is located approximately 20 minutes drive from the international airport and 15 minutes drive from the Iwasu National Park. This hotel was opened around 20 years ago. Of course, it was already renovated. It has a total of 134 rooms. and it is located in sort of a private garden, which features an artificial lake, 3 outdoor swimming pools, tennis courts, kids club. So it's a great property to enjoy year-round. Remember that as we are located in the Iwasu Falls, this is sort of a typical jungle climate. So it's always, even in winter, it's always humid and hot. So you or your clients will be able to enjoy sort of summer weather conditions year-round. Next slide, please. As for the activities we can offer your clients staying at the Iwasu Grand Resort, of course, we can offer half-day or full-day tours to the Iwasu National Park, either on the Argentinian side, which is usually a full-day tour, or to the Brazilian side, which is a half-day tour. But we can also offer scenic overflights. We can also offer an excursion to the Birds Park located in Brazil. We can also recommend you to do this excursion at the top right of the screen, which is named The Great Adventure. We also do full-day tours to the Wanda Mines, to the San Ignacio Jesuit ruins. So there are tons of activities to enjoy here. Next slide, please. And when coming back to the hotel, you will be able to enjoy a lot of facilities, 3 different restaurants, the kids club with activities for kids from 5 to 16 years old, tennis court, outdoor swimming pool for the parents. We have an amazing spa with indoor heated swimming pool and the possibility to offer a special facial or body treatments and massage. Next slide, please. And as for the accommodation, we can accommodate a family of 4 in our junior suite, which is in fact the standard category. It has a king-size bed, and we can add extra beds, or we can offer 2 double beds and accommodates a couple with 2 kids under 12 years old. We also have connecting rooms, and we have some suites that have 1 or 2 master bedrooms for bigger families. Next slide, please. As for the rates, our starting point is $240 per room, including buffet breakfast and all the basic facilities or activities I was mentioning are offered on property. So this is briefly Iwasu Grand Resort in Argentina, an amazing destination for your upcoming family request.
Perfect. Alrighty, that pretty much wraps up what Jenna, Ana, and myself wanted to share with you all today. I just want to take a few questions. Jenna, I don't know, I'm sorry to put you on the spot. Would you mind opening the questions tab and see what kind of questions came through? And then Jenna, Ana, and myself will all stay on here just for a few extra minutes. We don't want to take up too much of your time. But yeah, please type those through. We'll just stick around for a few, but I do know that a few came through. So Jenna, if you don't mind, can you fire away?
Sure. This one's for you.
Great.
The first question we have is, on the private plane, what is the weight of the luggage/contents that are allowed per person?
Great question. So as opposed to the normal 15 kilograms per person that's allotted for the charter flights, we actually allow 20. So as long as you're staying within the Sky Safari circuit, 20 kilograms is the weight limit that we offer for your guests. Keep in mind we do laundry at every single property. So you know, I usually just pack a scarf and wear the same thing for a few days in a row. Hopefully none of my other fellow passengers have judged me, but anyhow, 20 kilograms is the weight limit. And then just for your information, Sky Safari does have certain agreements with certain charter options. Like for example, if you head over to Zanzibar, We do have a special agreement where, you know, we've negotiated a higher weight limit, but you would have to ask if you are traveling outside of the Sky Safari circuit.
And the next question's also for you.
Okay.
So in regards to the Africa destinations, do we have any payment plans available?
Payment plans.
Yeah.
So our standard, I mean, I think it's pretty standard across the boards. We do require a deposit to hold the room, so that's 20%. And then I believe it's either 60 days out. I'm not sure exactly the payment method, but we do require a deposit to at least hold the rooms. And we are quite flexible if you do need to, you know, change around. I know that now hopefully things are getting a little bit better, so it's easier to know that your trip will happen, I guess, these days. But no, we require the regular deposit, and then the full payment. It's either 30 or 60 days out. I can get more information on that.
Perfect. Thank you, Jessie. Ana, the next question is for you. The property that you were talking about near Iwasu Falls, is that on the Argentina or the Brazilian side?
Iwasu Grand Resort is on the Argentinian side.
Perfect. Yeah, that was, sorry, I know that someone just got caught up on a phone call and missed that part of it. I don't know if I see any other questions here. So if you guys have any other questions for us, you have all three of us you can ask. So please type those through now, but I think that might be everything that we have.
Cool. From my side, just to chime in again, and Jenna, you can stop me if someone else comes in. We'll share this PowerPoint presentation with you, you know, if you'd like to review it again, in terms of, for example, you know, the family safari chart with the Elawana collection. I'll send you that. We have really great trade packs for all of our clients that include images of all the rooms that we talked about. If you'd like any more information about a specific itinerary in general, we can do all of that. So expect all of those digital links in our follow-up. And then we will also include a link to order brochures. So we do have hard copy brochures of a few of our clients, not all, and we can pass that along to you as well. So
I'm going to jump in here just very quickly. We have a couple more questions that came through. Sorry, Jessie.
Great.
So this one's for me. For the Ecuador cruises, what are the numbers of nights that you offer? So we have either a 6 or an 8-day itinerary. Those are on board. We have a couple different options for what those itineraries look like, which I can also share with you in the webinar follow-up. And then we can also accommodate for island hopping if that's something that your clients are interested in as well. Ana, question for you. Do you know, is the hotel in Iguazú a former Sheraton?
No, it's not the former Sheraton. The former Sheraton is located inside the national park in Argentina, and it's currently the Gran Meliá Iguazú. Our hotel, the Iwasu Grand Resort, it is located in downtown. It is about 15 minutes drive from the Iwasu National Park.
All right, I think those were the last two that came through, Jessie. So now you can do the official wrap up, and hopefully I won't interrupt you again.
No worries. That was basically it. You guys, you'll receive a copy of the recording, a copy of the PowerPoint presentation, and all of the digital links that I mentioned as well. And then keep in mind, we'll be doing this. Our next one will focus on honeymoon/romance travel with a few of our clients. So you can stay motivated and get all of that information. So that's it from here. Thank you guys for joining us, and we hope to see you on the next few webinars that we host.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.